Hey everyone, welcome back to another studio vlog. Thanks for tuning in. Today's gonna be just a real chill video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and sit back and relax. So way back in 2018, I made this piece, Permutation number 124. It's kind of a one-off piece that I only did one of, which is unusual for me because usually I work in like little mini series and I'll make a bunch. And anyway, I really liked this composition and I always knew I'd go back to it at some point, so I did. So I'll share my thoughts behind making these pieces, and also in this video we'll go to the farmer's market and walk around Quito a little bit. So stay tuned. So I couldn't use my normal permutation template for this series because instead of points connected by lines, I'm just doing curves. So I start by just marking the center point of the bottom circle, and then I use a template for the rest of it. I realized I never really showed a video where I create a teardrop from scratch, but basically you take one circle and then two larger circles, and the way they intersect creates the teardrop. But anyway, I take that center point that I marked and use the guides that I made with my small template to make a bottom circle. And then you can see I mark off the perimeters of the template, and then there's a center point line. And then I mark little points where the compass needs to go. And that's how I create the side curves. So with the teardrop finished, we're ready to do the interior curves. But first, it's Friday, so that means it's time for the farmer's market. It's a really different mindset to create these. Instead of using points to create geometric lines in a really formulaic way, I create gentle curves and rely on sort of intuitive movements to create the compositions. It reminds me a lot of something I used to do when I was little, just sort of like scribbling and coloring in the spaces between the lines. But don't tell anyone I said that. I was intentionally very experimental with this series in terms of color. I wanted to use some palettes I've never used before. That said, the first one had a palette almost exactly the same as the piece that started all of this, Permutation number 124. Speaking of palettes, you could see me re-wetting them. The brand of paints I use are really good quality, so they can be re-wetted like this. The downside is that once my palettes are full, I am limited by the colors I can use, unless I get more palettes. They cost money. Consider supporting me at Buy Me a Coffee so I could buy more palettes and use more colors. The link is in the description. I wasn't loving how the blue was drying on this piece. One thing I've realized with gouache is that, especially with darker colors, it's hard to get a really even finish. It's pretty counterintuitive, but if you add some titanium white, the colors tend to be more consistent. They won't be as dark, but I find that the consistency, for me at least, is more important for compositions like these, where I want the finished color to be very flat. So the other day I had to go to an administrative building to renew my visa, my tourist visa. If you're not following me on Buy Me a Coffee, you probably don't know it's been really difficult for us. We have had a lot of trouble getting our visas. When my husband got hired, he was told by his employer that he would get a lawyer to help him figure out his visa stuff. And so before we got here, the lawyer told us what documents we needed. And it turned out that he not only told us to bring some documents that were kind of expensive to get, but he also neglected to tell us certain documents that if you just go to an office in Chicago and apply for them, they're really easy to get. But if you have to do it remotely, where you have to use like a service who charges you a lot of money and you have to ship things, and it's very expensive to ship right now. So altogether, we've spent almost $2,000 more than we should have. The school has said that they're considering reimbursing us for all of these costs. But there was like a meeting scheduled to talk about it, and it was rescheduled 4 times over 2 weeks. And then even after the meeting happened, my husband's boss said that he had to bring it up to like the next higher up people, and it still hasn't been resolved. And today is the start of a break. It's a 2-week break, and they still haven't said that they're going to give us the money, which would have been really nice to have for a vacation. So it looks like we're not going to be doing anything on this vacation. Anyway, enough of my problems. Here's a walk through Quito. Enjoy. So yeah, that's it. That's my video today. Hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. Helps a lot. Consider following me on Buy Me a Coffee for more behind the scenes kind of stuff. As always, you could go over to my website and purchase artwork that you've seen being made here. Ship anywhere. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.